Hey YouTube, it's Annabelle. So I've gotten a couple of requests quite a while ago already about how we are preparing our daughter for baby number 2's arrival. So I just wanted to do a video on this tonight. My daughter will be about 25 months old when baby number 2 makes his or her appearance. So this is kind of what we've been doing. It's kind of like age appropriate kind of stuff for how old she is and kind of what she understands, and trying to get her as prepared as possible to be an older sibling. Okay, so basically what it all started off doing was we actually kind of told her that mommy was gonna have a baby, but it didn't really register until just here and recently that she has started to say baby in my belly, since my belly is getting bigger. So way back when we first kind of told her and stuff, she didn't get it. So what we did in the beginning is we talked a lot about babies, and we talked about what babies do. We have baby dolls that are actually mine from when I was younger, and we had her rock the baby, hold the baby, wrap the baby up, swaddling. She was actually asking for her babies to be wrapped up. Baby wrapped up, wrapped up. So we would wrap the baby up, and she would sit with the baby doll and kind of rock the baby, put the baby on her shoulder and kind of pat the baby to burp the baby. We talked about baby bibs and babies' bottles and just all that kind of stuff, like babies need to be changed and things like that. So we practiced baby things with her, and we continue to practice baby things with her. And we talk about how she's going to be a big sister. We don't talk a whole lot about if the baby's a brother or a sister, because she's just too little to understand that we don't know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, and she doesn't quite understand the difference, I guess you would say, between a brother and a sister. So we haven't really talked about that a whole lot. If she was older, I think we could talk about, well, we're going to find out if you're going to have a brother or a sister. But instead of saying that, since she is younger, we are sticking with that she's going to be a big sister and that mommy's having a baby. She went through a period where she thought that my husband had a baby in his belly too. And so we had to explain to her, no, just mommy has a baby in her belly. And then she started saying that she had a baby in her belly. So we kind of corrected that a little bit just by restating over and over again that mommy has a baby in her belly. So she's watched mommy's belly get bigger and bigger, and she's been watching the baby flutters and things across my belly. She has not yet actually felt the baby move yet. And it's just because as soon as she goes to touch the baby moving, it stops moving. So she hasn't actually felt these big huge waves and things that we're feeling now because baby's getting bigger. But otherwise we're just practicing that. We are also visiting babies and having babies over to our house for play dates. My friends that have had babies recently, she is fascinated with babies. And so with visiting real babies or having babies come over, my friends who have recently had kids bring their babies over, and we just go over some general things, like you don't grab baby's arm and go like this with it. And I'm trying to get her you just don't touch baby's face, because she's really into identifying body parts. She's like, baby has eyes, baby has nose, baby has mouth, baby has ears, and she kind of goes like this. So we're trying to just teach her the general rules. Like you can pat baby's head nicely, you can pat baby's hair, things like that. You can touch baby's hand, but like no pulling or anything like that, just to kind of help her get ready for when we actually bring our baby home. That there's these kind of rules that are already set up. I don't want her poking baby's eyes or like poking in baby's mouth or trying to feed baby. So we've been talking about only bottles go in baby's mouth. Babies don't eat food, they just drink their bottle, things like that. And she's actually doing really, really well with it. We have some play food. And she only puts the play food up to the like toddler size dolls that we have. She no longer puts food up to the baby's mouth. So that's something that we're trying to establish also, because when the new baby comes, we don't want her trying to feed the baby solid things, put solid things in the baby's mouth, things like that. So it's all just kind of those things that we're trying to just say over and over again, so that way she learns those things before the baby comes. And like I said, we talk about mommy's tummy growing and how baby's going to come out and then she's going to be a big sister. We talk about where will baby go, and a lot of that will also happen after we set up for baby. We have to have our birthday party first, and then we are going to set up for baby, because I don't want to bring all that stuff out of storage when we're going to have people over at our house. So once we get that pack and play set up and like a diaper station set up and clothing station set up and kind of feeding station set up, we're going to go over that this is going to be baby's bottle station, or like this is baby's changing station. Baby's going to wear these diapers, baby's going to wear these clothes, and just start introducing her into that kind of stuff. If you've followed me for a while, you know that we actually, when we moved my daughter into her big bed, we left the crib up because baby number 2 is coming, and we just put a sheet over the crib. Now we have taken that sheet off of the crib and we have put a baby doll in the crib. So that's baby's crib. And she still stays in the big bed. And I was a little bit worried if she would have trouble with that because that was her crib, but there's been no looking back and she's been completely fine with it. So again, we're going to be talking about where baby will go. We're going to continue talking about what babies do. And then just, again, baby rules. We're just going to keep on repeating the same things over and over again. We talk about her being a big girl all the time, and we talk about how we're going to have a baby and she's going to be a big sister. So she likes to say big sister. So that is awesome. And we're also, just another thing in preparing her for being an older sibling is continuing to practice and learn independent tasks and play for her. We are also doing mommy and me time and daddy and me time, and we are going to continue that after the baby is born as well. She is still going to have things that she does with me and things that she does with my husband. I've done a lot of reading and a lot of asking people who have had multiple kids how they helped their older child adjust to having a younger sibling, because as we all know, like, babies need attention and things like that, and I don't want her to feel like she is left out of anything, or that mommy and daddy like don't love her or don't care about her anymore. So we're going to establish those things: mommy and me time, daddy and me time, and then family time, and we're going to let her help with the baby as much as possible. I still don't know how we are going to handle labor and delivery. I don't know if we're going to have her at the hospital at all before the baby is born, but she will be at the hospital, like, depending on if the baby's born during the day or at night. That all depends on what time or when she meets her little brother or her little sister. And we have kind of like a a little sibling, big sibling gift that we're going to give our daughter and the baby at the hospital. So they're both going to have something that looks the same. And I'll show that in a later video of what we're doing. Good job. But she is getting a little lamb that's like a stuffed animal lamb, and the baby is getting a Blanket Buddy lamb, and they're white. So if we have a boy or a girl, it'll still suit either one. So anyways, so those are the things that we are doing, that we're going to be doing, and still some stuff is up in the air. But I really want our kids to bond like right away, and so we're going to try to assist that as much as possible, and hopefully we will see that happen. Those are my hopes and everything. I've had a few friends tell me that their older children just hated the new baby, and I just really hope that that does not happen. But again, we'll see. A lot of it is going to be up in the air. We're going to see what her needs are after the baby is born and try to meet those needs promptly and as best as possible, so that way the transition from her being an only child to us now having a little brother or a little sister for her, that everything will kind of flow together very nicely. But if you have any advice for me, please leave that below. Or if you have any additional questions about what I said or comments, leave those below as well. But otherwise, that is pretty much what we are doing to get our daughter ready to be an older sibling. But yes, again, I think we would be doing stuff differently if she was older, but we're trying to keep it age appropriate again, because she does not understand that mommy is having a baby. We don't know what gender it is. It could be a boy, it could be a girl, and she definitely doesn't know how life is going to change, and we don't know how life is going to change with the new baby. So again, it's just doing as much planning and preparing as possible. But yes, so anyways, you all have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you later. Bye, guys.